Good morning, guys. Welcome to another vlog. I look really crazy right now. Hello. It's already almost 11 a.m. I just finally woke up maybe about 20 minutes ago. But before I really started to get out of bed and get ready, I thought, let me pull out my vlog camera. I've been getting requested for a while now to open up a little bit more about mental health stuff, because I've mentioned in the past, especially if you've been following me for years and years, I used to talk about this stuff a lot more regularly on my channel, but I've mentioned how I don't like to say suffer, but I deal with anxiety and depression. I've been getting requested to just talk about it more and share how I deal with it. So I thought, let me just vlog like a real ass day and just share with you guys and be completely transparent and vulnerable. And I'm gonna say, like, occasionally when I share these kinds of things, or I even just talk about like burnout and feeling overworked or anything that can be remotely conceived as negative, I'll get comments that are like, oh, stop complaining. All you do is complain. You're so negative. Like, if you feel that way, don't follow me. Seriously. I feel like all we see on social media is the highlights of people's lives. They only want to share the good parts. They only want to get on camera when they're in full hair and makeup, looking and feeling their absolute best. And there's nothing wrong with that, but that's not the reality all the time, you know? Like, excuse me. I know that a lot of people, even if you don't deal with like anxiety and depression specifically, but like we all have bad days where we just don't really feel like getting out of bed, or we're tired, we're stressed, we're overworked. And I get comments a lot that are like, oh my God, I don't know how you do all that you do. I actually was watching someone's vlog and they were talking about watching my videos and that I'm so inspiring to them because I just seem to be so productive and I'm able to get so much done. And I appreciate that so much, but it's just funny to hear that because that's not how I feel. So I don't ever want anyone to look at me and think that I'm this perfect person and that I have it together all the time and that I'm always super productive, because I'm not. So yeah, that's just what this vlog is going to be basically. I thought, let me just take you through a day and let's just be totally raw and talk about mental health. And let me just be transparent with you guys, because honestly, the way I've been feeling this past week, these are the kinds of days where I don't want to be on camera and I normally wouldn't. Instead, here we are, keeping it real. So like I said, it's already 11 o'clock. I don't have work at the salon today because we are supposed to be getting a snowstorm all day into tomorrow. So the next 2 days I have blocked out just because of the weather. I am not a morning person. I never have been, but this is like way too late. And I really think that it's contributed to just depression, and also like I just haven't been taking care of myself. I'm going to be totally honest. This is something that I would like to change. I would like to get up earlier. I thought that by getting a puppy, that would help force me to get up early, but he will literally sleep in later than me. So, but anyway, so here we are, starting the day off late. I have not taken a shower in the last like 2 days. I haven't really had anywhere to go this week, and I know that to some people probably sounds so disgusting, like, ew, how can you not shower every single day? But those of you who deal with depression, I'm sure you get it. I'm definitely gonna do that today. And then my bedroom is a total disaster. This is all clean laundry that I did last week, I think, and I still have not put it away. So we need to put all of that away. And then I have dirty laundry over here in this pile that I need to put in this hamper once it's empty. And then I have some more clothes up there on my vanity. So yeah, I need to straighten up in here. And then I have a vlog that I want to edit and upload today. I also really want to try to eat healthy. I would like to get a workout in on my treadmill. And I definitely need to shower, of course. So that's my plan for the day. And we will just chat throughout it. Here is my breakfast. Blueberry English muffin and 2 hard-boiled eggs. And I already know I'm probably gonna get a comment or two saying like, oh, you should cut out dairy, you should cut out gluten, you should cut out processed foods, you should, you know, whatever. And I know this isn't like the perfect, most balanced breakfast. I actually am completely out of fruit. Normally I like to have fruit with my breakfast, but I feel like the fact that I'm eating on a real plate and not a paper plate, which this is my last clean plate, so I need to do the dishes at some point too. And the fact that I'm eating breakfast at all is a step in the right direction. Because normally when I'm like really going through a bad episode, I will just not eat. Like I just can't even bring myself to like make myself an actual meal. All right, I'm gonna eat this and I'll catch back up in a little while. Look at this one trying to beg. No, you already had your breakfast. And in fact, you still have some food in your bowl, so. Look, he's been learning lay down, so now whenever he wants something, he just lays down. No! What is this behavior? Are you kidding? No. Oh my god, what is on my sleeve? Ew.
We're going to research this to then spread all this information to the public, right?
No, definitely not for that reason. But I don't know if it's all, I think Tuesday.
Yeah, so they've learned everything.
All right, so I am finished with my workout. I only did 21 minutes, but my shoe was starting to rub on like the back of my foot and it feels like it's giving me a blister and it's really uncomfortable. So I'm gonna stop, but I feel good. You know, it feels good to just like get your heart rate up a little bit and just like get a sweat in. I am also one of those people who I've struggled with eating disorders in the past and with like using exercise as a way to like punish myself, and I have a hard time finding like a healthy middle ground. For me, it's either like I go full out and I'm like super strict with how I eat and with working out, or if I can't meet that standard, I feel like, well, what's the point? And then I'll just do nothing instead. And I'm trying to get myself out of that mentality and remind myself, like, even if I only do 20 minutes on the treadmill or 10 minutes even, like that's better than nothing. A lot of the times I'm like, oh, well, if I'm doing anything less than an hour, then literally what's the point? But it's better that I just do even a few minutes than just sitting around and not doing anything, you know? And the more that I can just do like short walks at a time on a more regular basis, the more I'll be inclined to work out. And I know that this all really is like a cycle, because when I'm active, when I'm eating healthy, it's just good for my mental health and I just feel so good overall. Not even from like a weight loss standpoint, you know? It's just like for my health. But when you're in the middle of a wave of depression, it's so hard. You just can't bring yourself to do it. And like the simplest tasks, like even just getting up and making yourself a healthy meal feels so difficult. So you end up not exercising, not eating healthy. And then that I feel like just makes it worse. And then you just end up in this bad cycle. And it's hard to pull yourself out of it. But I just find the best thing that works for me is the second that I have even like the tiniest bit of energy, I just force myself, like I just go into zombie mode and I don't even think about what I'm doing. I just like force myself to get into it, because I feel like just sitting there thinking about what I need to do becomes very daunting. And then I just end up feeling like, oh my God, you're such a lazy piece of shit. You have all this stuff to do. Like, you're so unproductive. Why aren't you getting anything done? What's wrong with you? And then I just feel worse, and then I just spiral. And yeah, so just getting up and just doing it. and not thinking about it. Sometimes that helps. I am gonna go finally get in the shower now. Freshly showered, shaved, brushed my teeth, washed my face, groomed my eyebrows because I desperately needed it. And it's so funny because I put on this outfit and I didn't even realize how perfectly it matches. That always feels good too, like putting on a brand new outfit, even though this is like, you know, very basic, but just wearing like new clothes for the first time always feels really good too. So now I am going to do the dishes and straighten up the living room a little bit. Here's the before. Ugh. After. Oh, I have not blown out my hair and like styled it in over 2 weeks. I've just been letting it air dry, mainly because I just have not been feeling up to like making myself look super presentable, but also because I'm trying to grow my hair out, like get as healthy as possible. But I felt like today, especially for the sake of this vlog, I felt like it would just make me feel a little bit better. I need to edit my video, but I figured before we lose daylight, because it's gonna take me a few hours to do that, I wanted to just chat a little bit more. Anxiety, I feel like I don't deal with it, or it doesn't like negatively affect my life as much or as often, but it's something that I have experienced my entire life. Like from the time I was really, really young, like my earliest memories. And what's funny is for the longest time, I always said like, I don't think that I have anxiety. I would hear how other people would talk about it and how they would have panic attacks. And I think I just had like this certain idea of it in my mind. And I was like, no, I can't relate to that. And then one time I remember hearing somebody describe what anxiety felt like to them. And it just clicked like, oh my God, that is that weird, indescribable feeling that I have experienced my entire life that I just didn't really think anything of. I thought, I don't know what I thought. But basically the way that it feels for me is it usually will, like I'll feel it in my gut, like in my lower stomach. And it's just this weird, uneasy feeling. The best way I can describe it is like, if you've ever felt like really, really embarrassed, or like you're in trouble, like you did something wrong and like you know that you're gonna get in trouble for it. Like you're walking to the principal's office and you know you're about to get detention. That's like the closest thing that I can think to describe it. I'll get that, but there's no reason for it. Like it will just happen randomly. Like I'll literally just be laying in bed and it'll just come over me and I'm like, what is this feeling? What the hell? Like I said, like literally from the time I was a kid, I just remember I would like lay there and it would just kind of come over me, and then, you know, maybe in like a minute or two it would go away. And I remember thinking, is this like a normal thing? Does everybody feel this? Like, what is that feeling? I didn't even know at the time how to verbally describe it in order to even ask anybody. I don't know, it was something that I just always kind of kept to myself and didn't think much of until I got a little bit older and I heard other people describe it that way. And I was like, holy shit, that's anxiety? As I've gotten older, like within the last maybe 5 years or so, I want to say, I have started to experience more like panic attacks where I'll feel like a tightness in my chest and it'll be really hard for me to breathe, or I'll feel like kind of suffocated and like my heart will start racing, and again, for no reason. And I'll kind of go through phases where it'll be really bad. Like I'll have like a week or so where I'm experiencing it pretty much every day, but it's not bad enough where it like holds me back from doing everyday tasks or going to work. I don't know, like I just kind of keep it to myself and I just kind of work through it. I let it pass and I just breathe. If I'm home, what I found really works for me is like tight pressure. So if my boyfriend is around, he knows, like I'll tell him I need you to just like squeeze me, and he'll just put his arms around me and just like holds me really tight until it passes, and that usually helps. Or like if I have a pillow, I'll just like squeeze a pillow. I know people use weighted blankets and that's supposed to help. For me, I am also extremely claustrophobic, so I don't like the feeling of like being weighed down by something, because then I just feel constricted, and that I feel like just makes it worse. But I would say depression is what is like the most annoying for me, because that does, I feel, affect me on a more regular basis. That I really started to experience around the time when I started college. Before that point in my life, I don't think that I really ever dealt with it. And at the time when I first started to experience it, I really just thought, oh, well, I'm really stressed right now. I feel lost. You know, I'm going through a lot of changes in my life. This is just a stressful, hectic time. So yeah, it makes sense that I'm feeling this way. But as I got to a point where, like now, I'm the happiest I've ever been. I'm in a really great relationship. I'm extremely happy. I love what I do for a living. I have a cute little puppy. I have my own place, like everything. My life is not perfect by any means, but I don't have anything to be upset about. You know, I'm healthy, my family's healthy, everything is good, but this will just come over me sometimes. And it really just is a chemical thing that I feel like you can't control, and there isn't necessarily anything that will trigger it. And I think people who have never experienced depression, like clinical depression, will just tell you like, oh, cheer up, get over it, or just do this, just do that. And it's not that simple. You have days where you just don't want to get out of bed. And it's like, no matter how much sleep I get, I just am exhausted all the time. And it's like, you know, okay, I should do this, I should do that, this will make me feel better, but you just, it's hard to bring yourself to do it. And like I said earlier, you kind of get stuck in this cycle. And I still find ways, like I feel fortunate enough that it's not so bad to the point where I can't function at all. I might have gone a couple days without showering, but I can still get my work done, and I can still like get the bills paid. You know what I mean? Like I still can function, I can still do what I need to do. And I've thought about maybe trying medication, but that really scares me because I know it takes a while to like find the right balance and find the right dosage. I'm just scared to try that and to have to deal with that period of time where, you know, I'm trying to find the right balance. I'm a tough love kind of person. My parents are both that way. You know, it's like you deal with shit. You have things you need to do, you just gotta get it done. So I don't want to come across like, woe is me, oh, I don't want to do anything. And that's why like sometimes I have a hard time talking about this kind of stuff, because I don't want to come across that way. But I just wanted to share and just open up and just share what I experience and how it feels for me, because I think everyone's experience is obviously different. So I just want you to know, if you are experiencing something similar, you're not alone. I go through it too. And honestly, sometimes my apartment will be a mess. Like I will have dishes piled up, and I like feel embarrassed to show that in vlogs. Because like, even though I want to be real and I want to be authentic, at the same time, like people can be really judgmental. Even if you can see my bed in the background of like a minute clip in a vlog and it's not made, like somebody will point that out and make a comment about it. Like, you should make your bed. That is the last thing on my mind right now, you know? I'm just rambling now at this point. So as you can see, my client, like I said, is a natural brunette. It is a few hours later. As you can see, it is no longer light outside. I have been sitting here editing this video. I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't start right away. I ended up sitting on the couch and watched YouTube videos for probably like an hour before I actually started, because I was just like, I don't know. It's almost 7 o'clock and I'm starting to get a little hungry, so I'm probably gonna stop pretty soon to go make dinner. Okay, it's dinner time. This is the worst lighting ever. Oh my god. So I'm going to make some turkey meatballs. So I have ground turkey, an egg, some panko breadcrumbs, a bunch of seasoning, and then I chopped up some fresh garlic and parsley. So I'm basically gonna just combine all this in the bowl, scoop it out into little balls, and then I'm gonna bake it at 350 for like 20 to 30 minutes. Oh, and then I totally forgot, I'm gonna also add in some shredded Parmesan cheese. And because my nails are super long and I don't have any gloves, I'm just gonna mix it up with this little spatula. I know my mom would do this with her bare hands, but that's gross to me. Alrighty, these are a little bit more like round clumps than actual balls, but it'll taste good regardless. Popping that in the oven. I'll start with 20 minutes and then I'll check on them and see how they look. Dinner is made. This is how the turkey meatballs came out. And then I decided to also make some Brussels sprouts in the air fryer. I just drizzled them with olive oil and then added salt, pepper, and garlic powder. Hello. It's a couple days later. The last time I vlogged, what did I do? I did end up finishing my video and then I was just too tired, so I never ended up cleaning the bedroom. I need to finally clean up this room and I figured I need to finish this vlog, so let's get this done. And sorry that the lighting in my room is total shit, but